So I'm not gonna lie, I already did an intro. I already listened to like the first barely a minute, but he was already zooming past. Um, my mic was not plugged in, so I'm glad I caught that now. And just to recap, I recently finished BG3 actually. My first ever playthrough. Yeah, I got in early access. I have a bunch of other characters I'm working on. Almost 200 hours, but not quite there. This does beat out Mass Effect for me, but you get it, you get it. But yeah, I also wanted to talk about this this thing right here. Should I no life this game, or should I actually make it into a series? Which, if you couldn't see, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I actually finished my first playthrough of BG3 as I got this game in the mail. So, yeah, but Max0r has a video. Again, I only watched the first minute, barely a minute, but he zoomed in a lot. He's already starting with gay jokes, which is hilarious. But yeah, we are. Let me remember to put this back on screen, and yeah, let's just zoom past again.
This video is going to spoil the entire game. Baldur's Gate 3 is possibly the funniest game ever made.
It
and
is.
I do not think it actually intends to be. Because it's actually trying to be really gay.
Yeah.
Taking place in a fantasy world where four adult friends are able to play on the same day. This game faithfully and hilariously recreates the D&D experience, all the way down to watching your friends paint the entire ground of their camp with your combustible blood, which turns out can act as the fuse for a bomb. And that is just the beginning of the absolute insanity that this game has to offer. Because in the world of Baldur's Gate, anything is possible, and everything is determined via dice roll.
Yeah.
And yes, that does determine whether or not you're going to be transformed into cats 4 turns before the building explodes. I think this is the best game ever made, and I'm not even exaggerating. But before beginning our amazing adventures, we have to choose our characters very carefully.
Okay, alright, let me stop him right there. So, I'm in the midst of also doing a Dark Urge gameplay, but my first thing was I was a half drow vengeance paladin, and of course I multi-classed, but honestly, paladin, I can understand why they did that poll with paladin being the most not even most sought after class, it's like the most popular. Paladin is so versatile. I was tired of hearing people talk about Warlock. Paladin is legit. That's all I have to say. He's going to give a rundown of these characters. I love / hate Astarion, but I'm curious to see what his opinion is on these people.
Got Astarion, the Dark Urge, Squid Game Huggy Wuggy, all the customization you can think of for my human male fighter. But today, we're going to be playing as Ongyat Rizking, a they-them wild magic sorcerer with absolutely unnatural charisma. Charisma so powerful that I convinced a boss to kill his minions, to kill his dog, to kill himself, then convinced him to join me against the forces of Satan 30 hours after I sent him to hell. Coincidentally, Ongyat Rizking is not a smart man.
You can talk to him? I just killed him.
Ambiguous, because I usually did the right thing very badly. You're probably wondering right about now, Max0r, why are you speaking to a sentient rat in hell? That is a good question with a very bad answer. I thought it would be really funny to sell my soul to Lucifer and then break into his house, kill his incubus that he uses to have sex with himself, steal my soul back along with everything worth money, which is the real reason that I'm here, make a break for it just in time to get caught, and be forced to kill Satan, who, by the way...
Okay, let me pause right there. I already forgot what I said earlier because I recorded my intro on mute. So this fight, and I'm sure he's going to talk about it. I thought this was a joke because when I watched a little bit of a video in regards to Raphael, and when the guy talked about him singing his own theme music, I was like, No, he didn't, because he showed a clip and it wasn't him actually singing. So I was like, did he actually sing his own theme music? But he did. Bro, and I hated this fight. I had to redo this thing 3 different times because I was trying to save Hope, which it looks like he doesn't have Hope here. But, bro, Hope was the only one who got me through this. Honestly, he's spoiling the game, so I don't care if I'm spoiling it, but Hope was literally a lifesaver. Like, oh my god. Except for, and maybe this is a glitch, but when I had to reload a save, she just wasn't there anymore, which I didn't realize until after everyone already died. But, bro, this game is fucking incredible.
He has 666 HP and sings about how he's going to kill you like a Disney villain. Was this the ethical course of action? Maybe, but in retrospect, I did not think I would get caught. So, on top of his immaculate Riz and dubious ethical success, the most important detail of Angat Riz King is that he is a wild magic sorcerer, which is definitely a class to choose. Imagine for a moment that you and
wild
your
magic
allies are trying to push past a narrow corridor when me and the fellas cast a swarm of bees, black tentacles, and a goopy fart cloud, which kills your entire team before you are able to see anything. I call this strategy the fucked up hentai. Now, if that was to hypothetically happen, you would theoretically accuse me of a lot of bullshit, to which I would respond with, yes, officer, I did just disintegrate that child, and what's more, I have committed crimes you can't even charge me for.
Bro. And I know this is going to sound messed up, but the fact that is this the only game where you are allowed to actually murder children? Like, sure, you can let kids die in other games, but I feel like this is the only game in existence where you can genuinely kill children. Genuinely. Jaheira, I don't know how I feel about Jaheira. let me. All right. This is a 20-minute video. I have to let him zoom.
Say hello to the spell Feign Death, which works by placing your allies into a coma. This, I would argue, is not a very useful spell. But if I were to say, give all my money away to a lucky merchant, then he would trust me enough to initiate nap time. And after carefully concealing my presence in a conspicuous dark blob, I will be able to steal my money back plus interest. And what's more, I get a fucking discount next time I show up. Is combat requiring just a little too much thought? Are you perhaps getting tired of taking any damage? Then, my friend, look no further than the Globe of Invulnerability, which does exactly what you think it does a little too well. The only caveat being
no, the best way for, like, yeah, the Globe of Invulnerability is cool, but, like, if we're being honest, what you need to do, again, Paladin is the best class. It is. So what you need to do is get the armor set, which you get after Act 2. Is it that armor set? You get an item in Act 2 where pretty much every bit of damage, I actually, now that I think about it, is it Act 2? Or was it you forging the armor in Act 1? There is an armor, there's an armor or an accessory. I don't feel like, I was going to say logging back into it. I don't feel like opening up the game to check and see. But, basically, there is a high chance that someone would miss your character. At least, there was a lot of misses on my character. My character was super tanky. A lot of misses. Like, my character, I even got the whole Raphael section. There's a charm that you get that is associated with, like, necklace, which took my HP from 100 to 148, which was insane. I think it set my constitution at 23. I'm not sure. I don't really read the descriptions all that well. I just see the after effects. But That's what you need. You need that, again, paladin, best class. You need a paladin in your party. I'm playing tactician right now. I am mad that levels are skewed way down in tactician, and camping supplies are like super high now. So I need to make Lae'zel either a paladin, or I need to make Will a paladin when I get him. Or Karlach. Karlach was a good bard. What is it called? Bardian? I don't know. The bard paladin multiclass. She was fantastic. It's just the issue with that class is all like it's only 50% chance of hitting the target, which can get infuriating unless you use bless. I'm geeking out too much.
Being that the invulnerability happens to work on enemies, and they tend to see
What?
vulnerability as an advantage. Meaning, literally every fight that I use it in devolves into the funny friendship circle. Say, for instance, that you are an enemy whose entire purpose is to explode yourself. If you happen to wander into the Orb of Comedy, you would be forced to unsuccessfully activate your bomb vest 20 times in a row, hoping and praying for a death
Okay,
that
wait.
I cannot provide you.
Wait.
Honestly, if you're
Is that the ability? I know there's a permanent buff where you can make your blood explosive. Is that what that is? Because I missed a lot of permanent buffs in Act 1 and Act 2. So I'm not sure.
creative enough, you don't even have to play most combat encounters. I once fought a boss that began every fight by instantly killing me. Now, most normal people in this situation would reload the game, try some other quests, literally anything that uses your brain. But I am not normal people. I'm autistic. How else do you think this video gets made? The
What is
neurotypicals
that?
couldn't do this shit. So instead, we are going to cleverly sneak up on him with my entire party, then cast Fear on him, forcing the men to flee while me and the fellows beat him to death with hammers. Another time, I was stuck in a difficult combat encounter with a invincible doom spider, at which point I
killed
transformed
him
into
already.
a more reasonable animal and forgot about him for the rest of the fight. Of course, magic doesn't always have to be used for combat or stealing. Sometimes it can be used for productive things, like remote detonation. Imagine for a moment that you were tasked with solving a murder because the elephant police are being racist. Not against non-elephants, mind you, just immigrants. My eyes are a reactionary ranch soda. You would be able to quickly resolve this situation by performing necromancy and asking the murder victim who killed them. Alternatively,
You can't.
if I wanted to say...
What? Why didn't I think of that? Because I had a charm to speak with the dead. What? What? And like, yeah, like you have speak with the dead. Wouldn't you be able to talk with the victim about that? Like I accidentally found the cult that was doing it. So I didn't know you can fucking speak to them. Like what?
Kill everyone in the goblin camp without conventional methods. I can simply cast Speak with Animals and gently convince the local spiders to begin an arachnid race war. In fact, you can use this on any animal in the game, including threatening rats into revealing their cheese location, or the cat that narrates like a noir detective. Although I do think it is very strange that I don't have to cast it before speaking to gnomes. But honestly, out of all the magical items you can obtain in this game, my favorite was definitely the Gamer Sups energy drinks, because it gives my character enough energy to leap 50 feet.
I'm sorry. Let me go back, cause I could have sworn. First of all, there was a meme here. Wait. See, I never need to actually slow this down. So, fuck. I don't know. Wait, do I have to actually like? Oh, I just hit setting. I'm a fucking idiot. Okay, so wait. All right, wait. I want to see the police meme just one more time. Just one more time. Let me see that. Wait, yeah. Okay. God, Joe Biden. Oh man, I never use the playback thing, so don't roast me about me not knowing how to do that, but oh my god. I feel like a fucking idiot, but I'm not gonna cut that out. Joe Biden. God, oh, I love Max0r. Wait, I could have sworn I quit.
Because it gives my character enough energy to leap 50 feet through the air and take extra actions per turn. It gets mailed to you as this cool alchemy powder, so you
wait,
can save
that's
on
the
gold,
actual
craft it into
cover.
useful consumables. Gamersupps has all kinds of cool spells, like Grandpa's Ashes, Guacamole Gamerfart 9000,
Yeah.
and my personal favorite, Lean. These are actual flavor names. We're also working on getting you guys an official Max0r cup. This is not the official Max0r cup. I would put boobs on it. But if you want other cups with boobs on them, you can find the shop for them here in Description Alley, right next to the subscribe store. And use code Max0r for 10% off all spells. I am not responsible for what comes after.
Wizard
Open, dude.
Wait.
Do the rump shaker, huh?
What?
Kicks ass, and I can watch Madagascar while I'm driving.
Jesus fucking Christ. Just saw a wizarding duel outside Walgreens. One wizard cast a bullet at the other and stole his magical herbs. Turns out Gale wasn't actually a crip. Or maybe now he is. Wizarding life
How does he
truly is
do
amazing
this?
out here in Pennsylvania. Because when you join the Wild Magic Gang, you aren't just making a character. You're making a mistake. Wild Magic sorcerers have a random chance to select an effect from a list of 100. As long as you install the mod that adds 80. Every spell my character cast was a guarantee that something will happen, and whether or not I wanted that to happen is a different story entirely. Consider the scenario that you and your heroic party are desperately trying to escape an underwater prison. And no, this time it wasn't for bestiality.
Wait,
It was for...
I just noticed that prison is like Rapture. Like, it looks exactly like
You
Rapture.
have 5 turns
Yeah.
before your character reenacts the Titanic.
I
This
hated
is when
that
you make
mission,
the
by the
critical
way.
mistake of casting a spell, which triggers the random effect of lock all doors, magically transforming this exploding prison into an exploding coffin. That is a reload. Or how about the time that I was tasked with holding onto a torch under penalty of death? Whereupon, the game decided that it would be really funny if I was banished to another dimension, because it would be even funnier if I happened to reload the game and immediately get petrified.
See, that's why you have to play Paladin, or you have to have someone. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop talking about how great Paladin is as a combat option. All right. But I'm not playing Paladin in my new playthroughs just because I don't want Astarion in the party. Honestly, I don't want Astarion in the party. So I need sleight of hand. So I've been playing as a rogue for my for my tactician playthrough, and it's not fun currently, but I'm getting there.
Okay, look, I am exaggerating a little bit here.
A little
After
bit.
all, the chances of you transforming into an ovine on your 3rd try would be pretty low. Of course, wild magic doesn't always have to ruin the game. Sometimes it can do really helpful things, like permanently inflict my character with the Clown Curse, which is, by every metric, an objective upgrade. I had an emotional cutscene after I got this, and I'm sure it made everyone feel better. Here we have the fight with the giant robot, where I accidentally transformed myself into a cheese wheel. This gives
I'm
us
sorry.
all kinds of new abilities, like cheesy smell, which would be really good if the robots could smell. Now, due to the obvious limitations of my class, Baldur's Gate 3 provides a myriad of options for customization, leveling, and companions, who, by the way, can be respec'd into any other class, making strategies like the 4-man gambling squad and Jurassic Park completely possible, but
Be a
not exactly
raptor?
viable. Personally, I find it completely bullshit that I do not get an intimidation bonus for walking into the bank with 3 fucking velociraptors. Like, do you see this very often? So, to get at the true heart of the Baldur's Gate 3 experience, we have to make some friends.
Damn.
And eventually have sex with most of them. Honestly, it's pretty easy to forget that this game has combat. Personally, though, I didn't get with any of them. Mostly because I can't show it, but also because I was
okay.
interested in a more acquired taste.
yeah.
That's right, baby. Gay sex with Squidward. I always dreamed of touching those Squidward tentacles as I played his clarinet. Also, if you don't have sex with
Nah.
anyone human, the camp skeleton just insults you for having
Yeah,
young bitches.
he does.
Thou art alone.
Shadowheart, more affectionately referred to as Shart, is a cleric of Shar that I spent the entire game gaslighting into a religious fundamentalist. Then, as soon as that became slightly inconvenient, beat her to death with my entire party so badly that I could not revive the body for round 2. Now, Shadowheart could have survived if I actually trusted her, but unfortunately, she is a white woman. And I don't trust those. Gale is an aggressively bisexual wizard with a nuclear bomb inside of his chest. And, it wants me defeated boots. Now, Gale claims this is because of his relationship with an actual goddess, but I don't believe him. Not because that's complete.
Okay, so, I don't know if this was intentional or not, and someone, I hope you can answer this. When Gale dies, when you actually kill him, and then when you use a resurrection scroll and bring him back to life, he's so excited about how he gets to live and all that good stuff. And you no longer have to feed him magical items. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not, but it would have been annoying if you had to keep feeding him items. That's all I have to say.
Completely insane, but because I've seen how Gale behaves around me. This motherfucker is gay. And since I've covered all this game's wacky and funny spells, I decided that I was going to respec Gale into a barbarian and give him a gun. This wizard may be out of spells, but he is not out of shells. Will is a daring and noble warlock who is constantly told what to do and treated like a dog by a demon girl. So I don't understand why he doesn't enjoy that. This game's writing is unrealistic. Lae'zel is a Githyanki fighter who, within 3 seconds of speaking to her, made me decide that yes, I am going to do a racist character today. And over the course of our adventure, Lae'zel surprised and shocked me by never failing to prove my racism correct. Asterion is a... Sorry, I forgot I installed that mod. Asterion is a devilishly handsome rogue that specializes in giving enemies the devious backshots. This is mostly because Asterion happens to be a literal vampire, which becomes relevant when I sacrifice 7,000 children to him to create the ultimate life form. I promise the scene isn't gay. Unfortunately, this did basically nothing, as Asterion proceeded to walk down the hall and get his ass beat to death with hammers, because out of all the abilities our sacrifice could have given us, Asterion had graciously received the power to continue being useless. Though, to be fair to Asterion, no ultimate vampire twink is going to kill 5 full-blood Texans on their 5th Modelo. And Karlach is a very hot barbarian that I use throughout the game as a punching bag. One time, Karlach got so mad that she randomly destroyed every box in a 10-meter radius, repeatedly setting the entire party on fire until we fucking died. It was at this moment I decided that Karlach was going to be the one to disarm every trap in the game for me. Make sure to grab the treasures, Karlach. With our powers combined, we are the world's shittiest polycule. We're having so much fun without Shadowheart. So,
wait, you actually let her die?
It naturally falls to us to combat the forces of Big Straight and stop the Squidward ethno-state. Mostly by accident, because if there's one thing that motivates me more than protecting my potential investments, it is stealing from them. Yes, sir, it is certainly bad if the only bank in the city gets robbed. But don't worry, I've conducted a thorough investigation in my camp, and I have found no evidence of wrongdoing. Quests in Baldur's Gate 3 are, for lack of a better term, fucking insane, both in their scope and in content. Mostly the content, with multiple contingencies for failure, partial success, or the classic unrestricted Japanese war crimes. Truly, the sky is the limit in Baldur's Gate, the only thing preventing you from achieving your dreams are the consequences of your actions. If, for instance, you were to ride the Calamari Carousel, a future character will roast you for your crimes against God in front of your friends. Your choices matter in Baldur's Gate.
Wait, he knows about that?
I decided to visit the circus so I could piss off the local genie so badly that he sends me to Jurassic Park. But that's not important right now.
I never went there.
Insane part of the circus,
I learned about that
after
the fact.
Enraptured by the performance of Dribbles the Clown. The only problem being that while investigating a series of murders by shapeshifters, I had already met Dribbles the Clown, and I was carrying his severed torso in my inventory. Safekeeping. So, despite knowing the identity of my gang stalkers, I decided to send Asterion to the stage anyways. Mainly because I thought it would be funny. And I was not disappointed. This guy should open a YouTube channel where he promotes an energy drink he intentionally poisons. Now, you're
Oh
gonna
my
want to be
God.
careful after doing this quest, because unbeknownst to you, one of your crewmates has been replaced by an imposter. And worst of all, I am kind of into this. Can you shapeshift yourself pregnant? So, whether you know it or not, you are going to be playing Among Us for the next 10 hours. And honestly, playing as the imposter is so much more fun. Which is why, instead of stopping the killings, I decided that I was going to do them myself and
Oh my
eventually
God.
join the blood cult by bathing in the blood of the racist elephant to bring about a new future of crimson despair. Shapeshifters are usually multiracial by
Wait.
definition. What I'm trying to say with these
Was
long
he a Dark
anecdotes is
Urge?
that
I'm
you never
confused.
just
Or can you
go to the
actually
circus
become
in this
that?
game, or God forbid, speak to a clown. Though you are watching this YouTube video, which is close.
Repost if you want to nail a porcupine. to
Okay,
your
so
neighbor's
we're
boss.
going all the way to Act 1 again. Is he going to talk about the barn scene? What is this background audio?
Welcome to the first major dungeon of the game, appropriately named Central London. And like the actual London, it is unfortunately filled with the English. You can really tell because you can't
right.
understand anyone and the food is inedible. It is here that Baldur's Gate really shines as a game where you can do almost anything, and an unlucky
Damn.
developer will be forced to code it. There are
Wait.
3 targets for you to kill in the Goblin Camp, or if you're bad enough, several dozen, each with their own personalities, weaknesses, and premium cheese strategies. Needless to say, this channel is not going to offer you any good advice. After all, there's a lot of guide videos for this game alongside race tier lists. So, while I'm not going to be sorting you by phenotype, what I can give you
Oh my
is a
God.
taste of the premium cheddar.
Okay, so for the Goblin Camp, I did it kind of wrong, and I killed Max0r. I didn't know at all that you can knock her out, and yeah, but my thing was I used those giant well, what were they? Ogres? I had that, and I used them to deal with the rest of the camp. So that was fun. That's how I got through it, and I still had to do it 2 times. So I just wanted to speak on that. But I missed a lot in this. Like, you can get your own like owlbear out of here. You can get that whole permanent debuff with like the eye thing. There was a lot of stuff you can do, and I just breezed past this entire section, which I'm not going to do on my next playthrough. So, yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna want to start out by going invisible and placing a wyvern toxin into the Kool-Aid. Then lead a toast by declaring that we are going to drink until we die. Make sure that Asterion is the one to do it, by the way. We don't need him anymore. Heading inside, we take care of our first target by following her to a secluded location, summoning a cloud of daggers, and then initiating
I think I
verbal
did
exchange,
kill her that
locking
way.
her into our conversation while she is slowly stabbed to death. This isn't considered a crime, by the way, because, well, they can just walk out. Just don't hit a piece of wood while you're doing that, because then you're not going to be killed for assault. You're going to be killed for destruction of property. The next trick we're going to do is called Max0r Skip, because we are going to be summoning a random spectator to skip to the end of Max0r's life. Just pray to God that she doesn't go down easily, because the spectator certainly won't. Finally, we have our third target, Dror Razglin, who is slightly hard to kill the conventional way. So instead of that, we're going to do something significantly harder. I know, really original strategy, Max.
Animals are so fucking funny, they make me want.
Welcome to the Underdark,
See-
home of the spectator boss fight. Because yes, in addition to having a giant underground area filled with interesting flora and fauna, Baldur's Gate 3 dares to ask the question of what if people in the Underdark had a different skin color to me? And completely unrelated to that, what if there was a lot of slavery? Because it is this very slavery that we are going to take advantage of. Immediately upon entering the world's basement, you're gonna want to head over to the Mushroom Kingdom, and you're
See,
gonna
there's
get a
a
letter
lot of
telling you
stuff
that
that
the
you had to
princess
do
is
there,
now a
too.
permanent guest at one of Bowser's 7 Koopa hotels. Talking to the giant mushroom, you're gonna have to explain to him how reanimating the bodies of dead velociraptors is technically not a war crime, but what I'm going to use them for is definitely a war crime. And after playing a game of Pokemon with the corpses that your enemies reanimated,
Oh my
we
God.
steal their boats and progress down the river towards the iron fortress of Grimforge. This place fucking sucks dick. I'm gonna kill myself. Welcome to Grimforge, home to many different kinds of people, whether they're enslaved or enslaving. You really only have two options here in the Grimforge. Eavesdropping in on the local Minecraft Let's Play. We overhear rumors of an ancient and powerful explosive, which will purchase my child labor at least 30 minutes of Roblox time. And after gently ascertaining the location from their bodies, we carefully confiscate the nuclear weapon using a refined negotiation tactic where I lied to them. Now equipped with the most powerful bomb in the game, we are presented with a choice. We can either use this bomb to help the gnome slaves finally achieve their freedom, or we can use it to kill Jor Razglin. So, going back to the goblin camp, we discovered through some experimentation that Jor Razglin doesn't actually die to the bomb that I just placed. So, into the hole you go, I guess. And that is how you quickly and efficiently speedrun the Goblin Camp. Make sure to subscribe for more convenient time saves.
You can really do anything. And I am so mad. God, this game is fantastic. Oh my God.
What are you doing? Crowd. What the fuck?
Okay, so the point I'm trying to get across, really badly, is that this game is utterly massive, and it absolutely does not stop you from destroying it. Because in Baldur's Gate 3, every single mistake you can possibly make is going to come up again. And most
I
of the
hated
time,
that too.
it is in the form of
But she
racial
was so
conflict.
easier
For
than
instance, do you want to be
Act
a good Samaritan and free the Deep Gnomes from their unjust imprisonment? Well, congratulations. You just happened to free the Deep Gnome Clan's Grand Wizard. Hope you're ready for a race war in 20 hours. Because, if you happen to misplace a certain bomb, then, he's going to happen to make Hiroshima look like a fucking joke. Personally, this kind of stuff is the funniest shit I've ever seen. Not the racism part, although that is still funny, but rather the simple joy of knowing that your save file has probably already been destroyed without you even knowing it. Since beginning the long process of making this video,
Oh my
I
God.
have made a multiplayer warlock named Risley Bear, alongside my friends Reese and Nomer Simpson. And after playing for
sorry.
approximately 10 minutes, I
sorry.
can confirm that my first character inadvertently killed almost everyone he spoke to, and about half the time, the reverse was true. A good example of this is the time that I just so happened to wander my character into a literal god, who then offered me a pivotal and important quest, prompting me to raise the reasonable inquiry that if she was a god, surely she would be able to kill anyone she wanted. She responded by fucking vaporizing me. Overall, this is, in every sense of the word, a role-playing game, provided, of course, you want to roleplay as a dumbass murder goblin. Otherwise, why do you even play video games? We blow shit up
See,
in this
I did
motherfucker,
that
then
by
take your
accident.
sensitive ass back to LinkedIn.
Oh my
with
God.
scores of amazing and deep content that
I need to play
unintentionally
Helldivers.
locked myself out of because we accidentally killed a man named
Wait.
Bingus Bongus.
Wait, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this actually. Where is it? 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 Ah, God. It's the guy with the glasses. I can't see it. I gaslit him into doing that self-deletion, which I'm shocked you were able to gaslit him into doing that. It's crazy. But it's... God, where is it? Wait, what the fuck? Choose your fate. Drink too much and lose sleep. Walking. I can't read. Where does he find these? Does he make these himself?
Provided, of course, you want to roleplay as a dumbass murder goblin. Otherwise, why do you
Why
even
can't
play
you
video
be
games?
goblin?
We blow shit up in this motherfucker. Better take your sensitive ass back to LinkedIn.
All right, it's come
with
through.
scores of amazing and deep content.
Yes. What are you? Bro, I love how I was able to gaslit him into doing this. And I don't even know what I got from this at all. Like, what did I get out of this? Like,
Content that I unintentionally locked myself out of because we accidentally killed a man named Bingus Bongus. Rip to a fucking real one. Strategic and complicated combat, and an entire world of possibilities and solutions, which will leave you wondering, how the fuck
Oh my god.
am I allowed to do this? Is this
Oh
a
my
glitch
God.
or intended behavior? Yes. So, while I didn't get to cover everything since, I'm only human, you can trust me when I say that there is something in this game for everybody.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Would unleash Gnome Hitler again. For me, though, I would like to thank all of my amazing patrons, using and sacrificing their funding for only the finest of video game content. As always, more deranged gacha game videos to come.
What is
I will
this?
be sure to spend all of your money very responsibly. Oh yeah, this video is about Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay. 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 Now that I'm shocked. Did he even finish Act 3? Well, yeah, he showed the sheep. I'm curious to know what his opinion is on the end of the game, because I hope a patch fixes the end of the game. I personally don't like being forced into something, basically. Because that's exactly what that felt like. But, overall, Baldur's Gate 3, game of the year for 2023, and it was rightfully deserved. Again, and I'm pretty much already forgot. Should I do a series on this, or should I just do a review and put that up on my gaming channel, which a link in the description for that. But yeah, I forgot how gay Baldur's Gate can actually be. I'm shocked you didn't talk about the barn scene where you literally are catching an unspeakable act. That's all I have to say about that. But yeah, great video. Max0r does fantastic work as usual. I wonder if he's ever going to fully finish Elden Ring or that Resident Evil, but outside of that, I enjoyed the video. I will definitely let me like this John really quickly, and yeah, that's pretty much it.